Hi, everyone. This is Mike Sullivan. I am in the process of getting everything up and going here for this session, so bear with me. As it starts out, everyone should be muted in the beginning, and that will kind of unmute everyone once we kind of get going or towards the end of the session, just because I can kind of go through everything and then answer any questions you may have. Also, there is a chat area in there. I know my assistant director, Christine Planos, will be in shortly where she'll be able to answer questions via chat as well. So I'm just setting everything up right now and at the moment, so just bear with me. Okay. Hello, Christine. Let me add you here. I'm going to make you a co-host, Christine, just to so you can have some powers here. So let's see if I can get the screen that I want up here. So just to give you all a heads up, my family just left, so the house is nice and quiet. Unfortunately, I have a 5-month-old puppy, so hopefully she will not cause any problems while we do this as well. So can everyone hear me okay? And hopefully everyone can see my screen. I should have a big Zoom screen kind of up here. Okay, awesome. So I'm just going to give a minute or two. Let's see if there's anyone else that comes through here. Okay, Shay Maria, if you can hear me, if you don't have a microphone, it's okay. If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat. Christine will answer any questions or relay to me if there's anything I need to stop or slow down with. She's really good at that. Yes, Christine is our assistant director. She is awesome, and a huge part of the department is definitely her. So right now, everyone starting off the get-go is muted and the camera is turned off. I mean, I can turn it on if you want, but I will kind of just trying to move all the windows around on my screen here, so hopefully they don't become pain for me here. So if I move this over here, and it doesn't want to move. Okay, so let's see. Just closing out some windows here. And I hear my dog in the background. She's not happy that she's not getting attention right now. Let's see. Okay, so I think I have everything the way I want it kind of set up here on my screen. Jump out to one more screen here. Okay, Christine, is my screen okay? It's not like, should I just do it through the browser window? Or do you think this is okay?
This is fine, but someone mentioned that it's a bit tiny, so is there any way you can bump up the size a bit?
Let's see. In proportion to like text like that, kind of, or?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, see my dog just laying down now, so that's good. She's calm, which will make for a good session. All right, and Christine, if I miss anything, definitely chime in. So feel free to.
I will be answering the questions in the chat, and at the end we can go over any questions and answers to just refresh everyone.
Sweet. Okay, that works for me. So I guess we can officially start. It's 7:04. So I know I'm going to be covering a lot. I don't want anyone to freak out or to be upset or anything. If there's something we need to set up, we are over in Center 3, so you can definitely stop over or give us a call, and we'll do whatever we can to assist you. So I'm going to the mindset of, just using Canvas. It's not going to be for teaching online. It's just going to be kind of more of a web enhanced shell, so it's a complements you to your face-to-face course. So I'm going to kind of take that route. So the first thing is, I know many of you are familiar with Middlesex's main webpage right here. Typically, it's recommended for browsers, web browsers, you use Chrome or Firefox. I know I just read somewhere that Canvas will actually be functioning on the new Microsoft browser that's coming out shortly, because it's going to be on kind of a Chrome engine. So, but for now, I would strongly suggest just using Chrome or Firefox. Safari, it works, Internet Explorer, it works, So, if there's an issue that pops up, the first thing we're going to ask is, okay, well, what browser are you using? And say Chrome or Firefox. They seem to be there's less issues with the two, and they are the ones that Canvas Instructure does support. So, and we are recording this session as well, so it's automatically recording. So we can actually put this up on YouTube tomorrow and get it all captioned up and make sure everything's good for that. So I am in my browser right now. I am in Middlesex's main webpage. So going to Canvas, just in case if you haven't been there already or whatnot, typically to get to Canvas from Middlesex's main webpage, most go through my MCC. And then right here, we have the Canvas option right here. If you ever need to access InfoNet or anything else like that, don't forget, if you click on this drop arrow here, you can actually select faculty and staff. And then you get access to InfoNet or CELT or any other thing right here. Also, you can see the announcements in here right off the right. And then there is more once you log into InfoNet. It's the same login as you would use your email, how you would log into Canvas. So that's one thing to remember. I've been jumping into InfoNet a lot more lately than I have in the past, just because there's been so much information kind of coming out of the college. I know they do have a new mobile app that's out there, so definitely take a look at it. It's in the App Store as well as Google Play. If you just type in Middlesex County College, you will see it. So anyway, I'm going to click onto Canvas. And I'm already logged into Canvas. As an admin, I kind of have access to a ton of stuff, so I apologize if you see a whole bunch of stuff here. But what I did was I do have kind of a master shell here that that we're going to go into in a second. But first, I kind of want to cover a few different things here on the main screen upon logging in. On the left-hand side, basically what we have here is called Global Navigation. Global Navigation.
Can I interrupt you for a moment?
Sure.
Can you just bump up the size a little bit? It got small again.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's okay. There we go.
Good. Okay. So yeah, thank you. And basically, when I am on the global navigation, you can kind of think of Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. If you ever get lost, there's no place like home. This will always be here no matter where you are in Canvas. Doesn't matter what class you're in, this kind of will always be here. Typically, you'll have access to everything here except for the admin panel, and that's kind of reserved for Christine and I. Everything else you guys should have access to. So next we have the dashboard, which is the current screen that I'm looking at right now, right here. Next is the courses area here. You can kind of see, for those of you who might have taught for a long time, basically there is a lot of stuff in here. If I click on the courses, you can kind of see everything that's kind of going on here, which you can see I have a lot. But if there's anything you don't want to see, you can simply just unstar it. Think of the star belly sneeches from Dr. Seuss. I don't know. I always think of that whenever this stars upon ours. I can uncheck whatever I want. So say maybe I don't want to see the Student eLearning Resource Center, as beautiful as it is. I'm going to temporarily disable it by just unstarring it. And then if I jump back over into my dashboard here, kind of see everything going on here. Another good thing to see in your courses list here, when I click back into it, so if there's ever any question if your course is published or not, which we're going to kind of cover in a little bit, you'll see right off the get-go here where it says published, yes or no. You can see right away what's going on right there. Next, we have groups. So if you're associated with any groups, it will be in here. Typically, by default, I know CELT is listed in here for groups. You can jump in there for any kind of CELT material. And then also we have the calendar here. So if you add any dates to, for any of the courses that you have, for any assignments that are due, students can actually see the calendar. I don't know why mine's not popping up here. So weird. My kids aren't here and my network is slow. That's kind of weird. So basically, calendar here, you can kind of see everything. You can see all the courses that you're associated with here with. They're all different classes. And then if you do add any kind of assignments, say like on the 7th, if you create an assignment, you can actually see, so maybe there's a test that's due. From there, you can actually go in and your students can see the same thing as well. But they can't manipulate it like you can. Next here is the inbox. So Canvas inbox basically works like messaging for Canvas. It's kind of like a real stripped down kind of version of messaging. The best way I can kind of equate it is if you have Facebook Messenger. If you notice there's nothing kind of really glitzy about it or anything like that, it's basically just messaging, minus the emoticons and the ability to add GIF files. But in here, I know there are some issues with some. Basically, the messaging does forward out to Outlook email, your Middlesex cc.edu email address. It does forward out to there, but as of right now, some people are experiencing some issues, students as well as faculty, mail forwarding. The issue is over the summer there was kind of some problems with a lot of spam that was kind of coming through Middlesex, so IT kind of really locked things down. So we're trying to work with them to kind of unlock certain things. So if you aren't receiving any kind of messaging or forwarded messages from Canvas, as of right now, if you are receiving them, that's great and you don't have to worry. But if you aren't receiving them, it is wise if you kind of log in here a couple times a day just to make sure you're not missing any messages or anything like that. We do hope to have the issue rectified soon. We will post an announcement up once hopefully it's been 100% resolved. Next here we have Canvas Commons. Canvas Commons, well, also for Inbox too, I don't want to forget. If you do want to compose a message to all of your students, you can do it through here. Bear in mind, if you do try to select students through here and you're unable to send a message or you get some sort of error, 9 times out of 10 is because your course is not published. So if I were to select a course for right now, I can say maybe, I know my course isn't published for my fall class, Computer Science, CSC 105. So I can go to 2, and and if you notice here, my students are not listed in here. So basically that tells me right away that the course is not published. But if the course was published, I can do maybe say CT 101 here. And then I should be able to see, after clicking the address book here, now I can see students here. and you can actually see kind of the listing of everyone here, and I can select them. So there's no email address you have to remember or anything like that. It will forward out to your students. You can type subject line, just like regular email, and then you can type a message. Again, see, there's no real kind of way you can bold or underline or italicize or add bullet points in here. It's just kind of what you see is what you get. So bear that in mind. Also, you can actually do attachments as well here. I would not, we tell students in the same orientation on the student side of it not to send papers this way or anything like that. It's not to say, though, if you wanted to kind of attach a syllabi, you're definitely more than you can do it, but be redundant. Put your syllabus in maybe your course welcome, your announcement area, in your modules area, which we'll cover a couple different areas as opposed to just sending it out through here. So let me cancel this. So that's basically your messages here. And if you need to see anything that you've sent in the past, you can go to your inbox, you can go to sent, and all of that fun stuff here. So, in case if there are any issues, if a student has an issue with something going on, you can actually kind of keep track of all your messages through here. Again, if you need to compose a message or anything, you just click on this little pencil area here. So that's messaging with Canvas. Rule of thumb of what we tell our students for messaging, basically for Canvas, they want to email course. So they message you through your course. So with Outlook, that's everything outside of your course. So if students need to contact the dean, if they need to contact, say, financial aid or anything like that, we tell them to use Outlook. Canvas course, Outlook outside. So that's the inbox right here. Next is Canvas Commons. Canvas Commons is a great area here if you do, so say maybe you have, you're teaching something on the Civil War. I'm an American Studies major, so if I ever use history stuff, that's just typically kind of my thing. So maybe you want to teach something on the Civil War, maybe about Reconstruction or anything like that. You can, and you're struggling to find some content maybe that's associated with, or you want to add more content for reinforcement, you can go through right here into Canvas Commons and actually kind of search around. Maybe I want to do Reconstruction. If I can type. Why is my C not working? Okay. It's slow. C-O. All right. O-N. Okay. So here you go, Reconstruction going on right here. If you see something you like, maybe say a quiz or maybe a module, you can actually go in here. So say for module 11, I want to take a look at this and see what's in here. If I click on it, I can kind of see everything that's associated here in that module here regarding Reconstruction. If I like it that much, I can say, hey, I want to add this to my course if I want. I can go over here and click on Import Download, and then it'll give me a listing of all the courses that I have, and I can pick what course I want, check it, and it will add it into the modules area. So you can do this. There's files, there's quizzes you can do, there's pages, discussion forums, so a whole bunch of different things. I strongly suggest to take a look at it. It is a great resource for all of you to have. You can actually even post up into Canvas Commons as well. My only suggestion, though, is you can pick if you choose it to be inside of Middlesex or outside to anyone who has Canvas. So it will give you that option. Next, on the left here, we have the help area here. I hear my dog whining. She never whines, and this is driving me crazy. So next in the help area here, I click on help, and there's a whole bunch of resources here for all of you if there's any issues or if you have any questions regarding Canvas. A good example here is the eLearning Resource Center here that Christine actually created. She did a great job with it. It's a great index for the common questions we typically receive from faculty regarding questions in Canvas. So in here, it's really nicely indexed. It's really well put together, and really, she did an awesome job with this. So in here, here's an index of just different things that are going on within Canvas. We have just-in-time videos as well. And examples of, we have today, we had Turnitin sessions. If you have questions about Turnitin, it's right here. Another thing too, I know I covered H5P earlier today. If you go into the modules area, I do have something on H5P. And so, it's just, you can go through here and take a look at everything. If you ever have any questions, there's info through here. So that's the help area. Also, there's Canvas guides as well in here if you have any questions or anything like that. Students typically have ask your instructor a question through there as well. And so, definitely take a look, peruse through it, and maybe you'll see something you like. Also, there's the, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
yes?
I was going to say, before you move on, I just wanted to, did you talk about the global announcements
No, I
archive?
have not, no.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was in the help. I just wanted.
Yes, so if you do miss a global announcement that might have been posted up, I know we've kind of posted a lot lately. It's just trying to get everything out there like, oh yeah, we remembered this. Oh yeah, we forgot to say this. If you close out of it by accident, if you go into the help area here, you can actually go into Instructors Global Announcements Archive. And so you can see here, welcome back Adjunct Flyer, publishing your course. This was stuff that we posted this week. So if you ever need to go back, it's right in here. So next we have the library here. If you ever need to access the library, we always keep this here in Global Navigation as well as my MCC. So I'm jumping back over to Dashboard. And so basically the dashboard is like, it's like your heads up as far as whenever you log into Canvas. It's the first thing you do see. Any course that you're associated with or that you're teaching will be listed on here if it's fully online or even if it's face-to-face, where it's LMS for all. So basically you might be teaching, say, 5 classes, all of them will be listed through here and you kind of go through here. Your students do like to have access to this content here. They like it a lot, actually. So if, it's a great resource. If you need to put supplemental information from your face-to-face course in here, you can definitely do so. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And then on the right-hand side here, you have a to-do list. So say if your students are submitting work, maybe you have a paper that was due, say, yesterday, and your students have submitted work, it will tell you, say, it might say John Smith submitted, this paper, or discussion forum posts people have added to it, and so on and so forth. So this gives you a to-do heads up if there's anything that needs to be graded. I have a lot in here just because I have CSC 105 and just a whole bunch of different things as well, and CT 101. Also here you have your calendar. If there's anything that's coming up, you'll have access to it right here. And I mean, that's pretty much it for the dashboard. In here you can actually see if there's anything there's new. Maybe someone posted a discussion forum, it'll put a little badge here, like here, or if there's maybe a new announcement, your students will see a little badge right here, or if there's any new files added, you'll see like a little folder right there. So that's kind of badges. I know people have asked in the past, how do we get the images in here? I'll show you that shortly, but you can actually click and drag and arrange kind of the icons however you want them to be. Maybe I want CT 101 first, and then my fall class right here. It's just up to you. So it's your preference. You can click and drag however you want it to be. That being said, so I'm going to jump into my master demo course because it's completely empty. It's like starting from scratch, so there's nothing in here. So if I click in here, basically it's blank. On the left-hand side here with any course, you'll see basically your course menu system through here. I know there is a lot of stuff in here at the moment. It's real easy to kind of fix. Maybe you don't want to see purchase new course materials, class notebook, library guide, student course evaluations. You can fix that. If you go on the left here and click on settings, and then go up here, you'll see navigation. Is that big enough, Christine?
You might want to, there you go.
Okay. So if I click on the navigation tab here, so basically I can click and drag everything down here that I want, that I don't want to see. So I can click and drag instructor evaluations, student evaluations, maybe purchase course materials, research, adopt course materials, different things like that, outcomes. I can move down here, files. I typically suggest moving files down here because, and we'll cover that shortly, it's a good thing to do. Also, I don't know, it's up to you if you want to maybe not do chat or, library guides. It's completely up to you. So now if I go ahead and click on save, now if you notice on the left-hand side here, there's not as much stuff. So basically here, if I need to add like an image here, I can do so. I click on the course details tab, and now I can choose an image that I want to show up on my dashboard that's kind of associated with my class. And you also notice on the right here, it says the course is unpublished. So if I click on choose image, I can browse my computer for an image. I don't know. Oh, geez. I got nothing here on my dashboard. Shutterstock. I don't know. Maybe I'll do heads up. Okay. So here's my icon here that might be associated with my course. I can go ahead, it looks good. I have no complaints with that. Also, if you scroll down too, you can see your official, this is kind of a pre-created shell, but usually your start and end date for your course is right here. You can see when they start. Your students will not have access in them unless you change that. As of right now, classes do not officially start until Tuesday, so it's up to you if you want students to have access. You can check and uncheck the information right here. Students can only participate in the course between these dates, restrict students from viewing this course at the end of the date, or restrict students from viewing this course before the start date. It's all right there. So now if you scroll down even more, you can click on update course details. Right. And so that's basically kind of how you can kind of change certain things, like adding an image to your discussion, to your dashboard. So now if you see here, well, there it goes. There it is right there. So now it looks pretty. So I'm jumping back into the course again. If you notice, my course menu here is now kind of, it's not like a huge bunch of stuff that's kind of down here. So that's good. Next, one of the cool things about the course, having kind of a shell for your face-to-face course is your syllabus. You can add a syllabus to your course for your students. They can no longer say the dog ate my syllabus, or, I don't have it. It will always be here. It's never going away. If you want to, you can go ahead and click on edit. And if I wanted to, I could say, here is the course syllabus. And then what I can do is I can highlight, say, syllabus. And then if you notice on the right-hand side here, I have the option for links, files, and images. So say if I have a PDF file that I want to throw up here, I can go in the files area. And if I want to upload a new file, I can. I click upload new file. I can choose a new file. Oh, geez. Documents. Oh, geez. So let's say maybe, I don't know. Maybe I want to do a PDF right here, right? I can do that. It's right here. It's not showing up here yet because I haven't clicked upload. So if I click upload, it is now here. So I can click on it, it will pop up. Or if you wanted to, if you had your syllabus, Word document, you could copy and paste it and put it into here if you want. I don't know how the formatting will turn out, but you can definitely do that as well. And then I can click on update syllabus. So here's the course syllabus. Once you start adding assignments and due dates, this will grow right down here. So, students will see, okay, maybe I have chapter 1 test and it'll give when it's due. Maybe then a discussion forum when it's due. It'll start growing more and more for each week. That way, it associates with your course syllabus for the due dates for your assignments. So that's one way students can click on the syllabus. Like I said, it will always be there. It's not going away anywhere. So again, if you're in your class, if you want, so that's the syllabus, that's how you add that there. The next thing that's kind of students do like to see is if you add any kind of announcements for your course. So by rule of 3, there's 3 things students receive from anything you do, notifications that flow to Outlook for students. One is if you do any kind of new announcements for your course. Also, if there's any kind of Canvas messaging, if you send, it should forward out when it's working correctly to their Outlook, as well as if you post any grades in Canvas. So those are the 3 things that students will automatically receive notifications from that go from Outlook, from Canvas to Outlook. So in this case here, I want to create a new announcement. A new announcement could be something maybe that you're covering for the week. Maybe, God forbid, say maybe courses canceled due to inclement weather, or maybe you want them to remind them to study for Chapter 7 test, different things you can do. So I can click on add an announcement right here in the right-hand side. Here, let me make that bigger just to be on the safe side. So I have the announcement button here. So maybe I want to say, welcome to, I don't know, CSC 105 or something along those lines. And then here I can say, hi class, welcome. Let's see, hi class. I look forward to meeting all of you on Tuesday. So there's my announcement there, or if you want to, you could even put your syllabus in here again if you wanted to. By the way, here's the course syllabus. Be as redundant as possible for the syllabus. You can put it in 25 different places. That way the students can't say they did not see it or they did not know where to get it. So again, like I did before, I can just highlight syllabus. If I go to files, I already uploaded a file, so I don't need to kind of upload a file from my computer. It's already in here in my Canvas info. So if I click here, bam, there it is. If I wanted to, maybe there was something on the news or something kind of relative to the content that you're covering that you feel might be kind of great, kind of a supplemental material for your course, you can actually go in here, you can insert edit media, you know, anything from YouTube, you can embed, you know, or if you have the link right here, you can do it. So that's a great way to do it as well. That's one way you can actually add images as well. So, you know, you have a whole bunch of different things you can do. You can use Office 365. Unlike Canvas Inbox, here you can kind of format things. This is called a WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get. And you can bold certain things, you can underline, so on and so forth. You can create tables if you really wanted to. Christine loves when I create tables and don't put div tags on them. So you can change the point here, font sizes. So just different things here you can do. External tools, we have Quizlet if you want to use Quizlet, TED-Ed, and just different things. And then you can actually add something from Canvas Commons as well if you wanted to. So that's kind of like the announcements area here. And then here you can choose, if you wanted to do an attachment, you could. You can delay posting. So maybe you, for maybe the 15 weeks of your course, you can actually pick an announcement for each week that could release Sunday night or like Monday at midnight, Sunday into Monday midnight. You can post at, you know, say, I don't know. No, well, not that. But, you know, I can say Sunday at, you know, midnight. 12 a.m. Done, and now it'll release then. So that way your students will see that then. There you go. One quick thing before I forget to, if you want your announcements to kind of show up on your course homepage area, you can do that. I'm jumping back into settings again. I forgot to show this. If I go down a little bit here, where is it? More options. So here I can show recent announcements on Canvas homepage. So I can do maybe 3 announcements that kind of show up and kind of go from there. So maybe I want the last 3 announcements to show up on the Canvas homepage for my class. You can do so right there. I can click on Update Course Details, and I go back to Home. And because I set this to go off at midnight, it's not showing up right here. So that's basically kind of your announcements. The next thing I'm going to cover is kind of a course homepage. So when your students do sign up for your course, usually the first thing they ask is, hey, is there a shell for Canvas that goes along with my course? So in here, I know right now some of you might not have it defaulting. You might see a screen like this. We're working to kind of fix that, where kind of a blueprint where it won't do this anymore. But starting out now, this one time around, we can actually go in here and create a page real quick. And pages, I like pages a lot. Pages, basically, you can kind of create different pages that maybe can start off your weekly topics or your modules, which I'm going to show you in a second. So in this case here, I can create a page. So I'm in Pages. If I click on the plus page area here, I can maybe say, welcome to CSC 105, and then I can put, you know, course description, or just a brief info about your course. I can put maybe when classes run, maybe your office hours, your phone number, your email address, your office phone number, you know, Sullivan at Middlesex edu. Maybe it meets Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at what, 12:30 p.m. I don't know, just different things here. And then, so basically here, I can, when I'm done, I can click on Save and Publish. But if I go home, if you notice here, or if you notice, it's still not showing anything right here. So I need to kind of do one quick setting here in the page. So if I click back on Pages, and I'm sorry for bouncing around, I apologize. I promise not to do this as much with the stuff moving forward. So now I can select Use as Front Page. And now I can go back to Home. And now I can choose Home Page. And so here's the page that I just set. And click Save. Sorry, I'm looking, my dog is like going crazy. And now here is my home page. So now you don't have all that kind of mishmash going on here upon coming into your course for the first time. Now, so I'm just jumping out to the dashboard. I come into my course, and now your students see that. So, you know, you can always change it if you want. You can do different things. If you always want to update this, you're more than welcome to. You just hit the edit button right here. So that's kind of a course homepage right there. Next, the heart and soul of kind of any kind of course, you know, granted this is not an online course, but at least your students, we've taught your students to basically use modules to go into the modules area for any kind of course content or course materials. We're trying to shy away from the files kind of area. I know in Campus Cruiser, files was a big thing, but unfortunately, a whole bunch of different stuff in files, you know, there's tests in there. People could see, you know, an old syllabus from a couple years ago, or different things like that. So we're kind of telling students to go to the modules area, and they're more familiar with doing that. So if you remember this area right here, we can go here, and let's see. I need to create a module. Bear with me one second here. So if I want to create a new module, I click on plus module. So maybe I want to call it introduction. So, you know, usually for most classes, even for online as well as face-to-face, they have kind of a module 0 or a welcome or introduction module. So here I can do add module. I click on that. So now there's my introduction. Maybe I want to do a module for week 1 and week 2. So again, I click on the plus module area here. Go and call it week 1. Maybe do one more. I can do week 2. And so now I have an introduction, week 1, and week 2. So now, of course, I want, and everything is not published. If you notice here, you have a little kind of crosshair here. So now maybe there's some files I want to put into week 1. Maybe I covered a PowerPoint. Maybe there's a PDF file that I want everyone to see. Or even I want everyone to participate in a discussion forum. So now I can kind of start adding things into this module. If you notice to the right here, we have this little plus button. If I click on it, maybe I wanted to add a file, maybe a PDF or a PowerPoint, right? So I can click on here, I can select new file, I can choose file, and I want to do freeing the textbook 2018. I don't know. And it's in the course files, and I can click on add item. And so now I have week 1, and then here's the file that I just added. So maybe you don't like the name of how it's showing up here, freeing the textbook 2018.pdf. Maybe instead you want to call it, you can go to the little kind of the little dots here and click on that and click edit. So maybe I want to call it I don't know, textbook information and type today. I don't know. So if I click on update, yes, Canvas is definitely more robust than Google Classroom. So here, if I did week 1 textbook information, I can do that. It's there. And then maybe I wanted to add, say, a PowerPoint as well. So if I click on plus again, I can do another new file. I can search for the file. I know it is in my OneDrive. And then let's see, let's go. Presentations. And then fall 2019. Then I can click add item. So it's uploading. So now here's my PowerPoint as well. That's kind of weird. I thought I added my PowerPoint. All right, so maybe I don't like something in here. I click on the 3 dots here and I can click on remove. And let me try to add that PowerPoint again. New file. Here's the file here. Add item. Maybe I shouldn't have done a PowerPoint. Might be a big file. So anyway, yeah, basically, so this is where you can kind of add any kind of supplemental material, any kind of reinforcement material for the content that you're covering, class notes, or study guides. You can put them on for each week if you want. And so, of course, this is a big file, and I'm going to cancel. Let me try adding one more thing and see if we can do this one more time. Let's do.
Document anywhere?
Yeah, I'm checking.
Yeah, right at the top there. Oh, there was one right at the top there.
Oh, okay.
There it is, Sarah.
Yes, there we go. And you can do PDFs, you can do PowerPoints, you can do Excel files, you can do basically any file format that you'd like, if you want to, you can do it there. So, so here's week 1, textbook information. Here's a PowerPoint as well. If I want to do a discussion forum, you can do a discussion forum. I can click here. Here's a discussion. I can do new topic. I can do, say, introduce yourself. Click on add item. And so now I have a discussion forum as well. So if I click in here and to introduce yourself, I can do real quick edit. I can say, hi, my name's Mike. My favorite color is blue. I like long walks on the beach. I don't know. You can put whatever you want, but this is where you would do it. And then, basically you can say to your students, okay, you can reply to 5 of your classmates' posts. So, so in here, I can make change availability if I want, and I can click on save. So now if students want to reply, they can reply, hi, this is great. So, and then I can click on post reply. So there you go. So it's the discussion right here. So that's your discussions. So that's basically kind of modules in a nutshell. If you want to create any kind of assignments, so maybe you have students who are submitting, maybe you have a weekly term, a term paper, or if you have anything, I don't know, a Word document that they need to submit, a weekly reaction paper, it can be done right here. So I can actually go over here into assignments area here, but I would strongly suggest actually going through the modules area again. So modules is grayed out because it's not published. So that's why it's grayed out. Once you publish it, it will no longer be. So in here, maybe I want to do an assignment of someone submitting a paper, right? So for week 1, or actually how about for week 2, they have to submit a term paper, right? So if I click on the plus button again, I can select add an assignment, a new assignment right here. I can call it week 2 reaction paper. Add item. I'll publish it just to publish it. I'll publish all this stuff. So here's my paper here. So of course I have to click into it. And now if I want to add any kind of information, so maybe I want to click on edit, I can give a, kind of specs that I'm requiring for my paper. I can say maybe this paper has to be 2 pages. It needs to be an Arial font. Also, 12 point with MLA formatting. And then here you can actually you can set how many points you want it to be, like say 100 points. And then assignment group is assignments. I can display grade as points, submission type. So either A, you can kind of create just a placeholder for your students. Maybe they physically hand you in a paper, right? You don't want to carry 75 papers around with you each week. So have them submit it here online. So submission type, I can go here and I can click online. Maybe I want to do a file upload, right? And the cool thing with Middlesex is we do have Turnitin. It's a plagiarism checker, deterrent. So, students can upload a paper here and it will kind of compare to a database. It will search the web to see, make sure that the authenticity of the paper is good in the green. So right here, I can go for plagiarism review and do Turnitin. And here I can kind of pick, I want to compare submissions against student repository, website content, yada, yada, yada. It's info I covered today in sessions. And then everything looks good here. And so if I want students to see the authenticity report immediately, I can leave it as immediately, or I can do after the assignment is graded or after the due date, or even never, and kind of have students guess. But in here, I can do available from, I can do the assignment due date or how long students can see it. So maybe I can do available from, say today, and it ends, say, Saturday, right? And then I can go ahead and click on save. So now when your students come in, they have a weekly reaction paper, and you can actually add a rubric in here as well if you choose. Rubrics are good. That way your students there's no guessing as far as what you're looking for with the paper. So, there's my reaction paper. So now if I go into the modules area, if you notice now, I published everything. It's no longer kind of grayed out. I click in there. So now, things are kind of starting to grow here now. I'm just reading some of the notes. How long can they see that I've assigned it on their submission after that date? Yeah, it does take it out of the view. You can actually, if you want, so say week 1 goes by, week 1's finished, you can actually hide. Either A, you can kind of hide it through here where your students don't see week 1 anymore. And so this supersedes anything down in here. Or what you can do, or if you set due dates, students will no longer see it. They'll no longer have access to submit a paper to it. So yes, Christine's answering. So that's why Christine's awesome. So anyway, so that's week 1. So I know one of the things that, one of the big questions we have regarding, with Canvas is the gradebook. I'm going to gloss over this very lightly because, I'm throwing so much out at you here. If you do have a question or if you get stuck, definitely come into us. We're in Center 3. We can help you out. We can kind of work with you to finish up your gradebook. So for this, I'm going to go into the assignments area. And if you notice, I created this in the modules area. It kind of posted it out into the assignments area as well. So now, I guess you can think of your weighting, think of your syllabus, right? You have maybe 5 things that equal up to 100%, that's weighted up to 100. What I want to do is I want to create kind of buckets. I call it buckets. And this is where we can kind of throw all your different assignments into, right? So here, again, I'm in the assignments area. What I want to do is, before I click to add any new assignments, let's create some buckets or categories. So I can click on, the group area here, I click the plus group. Maybe I want to do quizzes, right? Okay, so quizzes here. Maybe I want to do, I want to click and create another group. Maybe I want to do homework, right? Maybe I want to do exams. I guess maybe, I don't know, we can do attendance. I don't know. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. And maybe just one more thing, maybe I'll do discussion posts. All right. So now I have 5 different categories in here, right? The next thing I want to do is I want to add weights to this. I'm going to actually click and just drag this down for now. I'm going to add this into homework. So you can actually click and drag and move everything around wherever you want. That way I can kind of get rid of assignments right here. Okay, so now I'm happy. So I have quizzes, I have homework, I have exams, I have attendance, discussion posts, right? So now I want to add weights. So you want to go over here. Again, we're in assignments. If you notice the 3 little dots here, if I click on that, I want to do assignment groups weight, right? And then I want to put a check where it says weight final grade based on assignment groups. So now I can kind of pick out my weighting here. So what, I have 5 categories here. So maybe I can do 20% for quizzes, maybe 30% for exams, maybe 10% for attendance. So what am I at, 60%? So maybe I want to do homework is 20%, and then discussions are another 20, right? So there. So now, if you notice here on the right-hand side, you will see I have 20%, 20% of total, 30%, 10%, and so on. So now, if I do ever want to create any kind of new assignments here, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do it through modules area again. So I'm jumping out to modules, just to kind of give you perspective as far as what we just created. So maybe week 2, I want to create a new assignment. I don't know, we'll call it quiz 1, right? Or no, I'm sorry, homework 2, right? So if I click on add item, now if you notice, if I go in here real quick, if I click on the into the homework, again, you go to edit here. And again, you put your specs in here, 12 pages, Arial, Calibri font, whatever, 10.5, size 10.5, font, whatever, you can do it here. I want to do 100 points again, but this time now, if you notice an assignment group, if I click on the drop arrow, I can actually do now homework. Remember, we just created that over there, and then display as points, whatever, and then I can do save and publish. So now if I look over at the assignments area, remember I dropped it in the homework area. Well, maybe I don't want it in the homework area. Maybe I want to put this in quizzes. I can just click and drag, right? And it'll go into quizzes. Or maybe I want to take it and put it in the exams area. So it's up to you wherever you want it to go. So after you've created all this and you've added your assignments and your quizzes, it'll start to grow more and more, and it'll look like a real grade book. So, that's kind of like the next area we're going to go to is grades. So now if you notice everything that we just created, so, we have the reaction paper here. I apologize. I can make this a little bit bigger if I can. So in here, I have my quizzes. These are the 2 assignments that I did create right here, the reaction paper and homework 2. Now here's the weighting. If you notice here, 20% of grade quizzes, everything will kind of add up into here so you can keep a running total. Your exams and then your attendance. And because I have the screen so enlarged, let me see. You can see here now discussion posts, and then here's a total. So you can keep a running total. So that way students aren't always asking you, what's my grade? What's my grade? They can see for themselves what the total is for everything. The other thing too is, if you do create, say, an assignment, maybe students aren't submitting a physical paper to you. Maybe they're handing a physical paper to you, right? So what you can do, instead of having to go in and students, you can just simply go in here and click, okay, week 2 was only 100. Anita looks, she got 100. There you go. So right now, if you notice, she got 100 here. The homework is 20% of grade, so she has a perfect score running here. And right now her total is 100. So that's kind of the discussion. That's kind of how the gradebook works. If you want to do like extra credit and stuff, we ask that you kind of reach out to us offline. Christine's more of a specialist at it than I am. She's better with the grade books. So that's kind of the grades. Students can see kind of everything that's going on that you're doing as long as you're keeping up with it. Just to give you a heads up, this is WebAdvisor and Canvas grading are two separate animals. So it doesn't matter if you're doing your grades in here, it will not flow over into WebAdvisor. Hey, go ahead.
Okay, Mike, can
Yes.
we show them what the student actually sees, because the student doesn't see this view?
Correct. Yes. So let me jump in here real quick. If I go, let's see, should I go view a student or should I go? I'll go.
Go into the home, and it's right off of the home page.
Okay.
Click the 3 lines to the left of the master. There you go.
Okay. So yeah, you can actually, say if you're typing something up and you're not sure how it looks, well, you can actually go to the right here and click on Student View with the glasses here. And so now you're viewing, if you notice this big purple bar underneath, you can kind of view everything in the perspective of a student in your class. So maybe I want to go to grades. This is what they see here. And the only thing that, Canvas is cool, they have predictive grading. Sometimes students get a little thrown off by this. So they can kind of figure out, maybe I need 20 points to get an A or, 30 points to get a B. They can do so in here. They can kind of fill it in. They can do kind of some predictive grading as well. So this is what they see basically. They can kind of click into here. Doesn't mean that they can submit any work, but they can see the grade that they received for the paper, any kind of commenting that you've left or anything, authenticity score from Turnitin as well. They would see it all through here. That way nothing's a surprise to them. They can see a running total of everything right here. So you can do everything: assignment group, due date, module, title, whatever. By title if I want. And then I can, when I'm done looking at everything, I can go down to the bottom right-hand side and click on Leave Student View. Right, and so I can just jump back to my class right here. And so that's kind of, so here is your home screen. The students, the first thing they see when they come in. Next is the announcements area, right? Here's the announcement here. I can actually change this so you can see real quick. If you need to go back in and edit it, you can by clicking into it. I want to show you something if this actually lets me go in. If I edit it, let's change this for, I want this to show up today, right? And now I can go ahead and click Save. So now when I click on Home, here's my announcement now. So if you have 2 or 3, it'll show up right up here. And then that way the students have access to it right on your course homepage, right? So I'm trying to think, what else do we have here? I know I'm throwing a lot out at you and I appreciate everyone's patience. Also, one of the big things too, okay, so say, you're kind of done doing all of your work here, everything's good. Don't forget to publish your course, right? You can tell right away if your course is not published because it's not green. If I click on published right now, the course is now published. So basically now, there's no issue. Students will see it, everything the day, once the class starts, they'll see your course. And now that it's published, you can actually message your students as well. You can actually, when you go into your inbox, you can actually click and you'll see all their names as well. Trying to think, Christine, am I?
Yeah, I think you covered everything really well. We have a little less than 5 minutes left.
Right.
Does anyone have any questions that they want Mike to review or go over? Otherwise, I can go through the questions that you've already asked, and we can just review those.
And while, if anyone's typing right now, I can kind of, what about using Google Items, right? So I'm looking at Crystal's message here.
I see that.
Yeah, if you want to use Google Items, you can do it. What you would do is in your account area here, you can click on your account. You can go into Settings. And just to give you a heads up, we are a Office 365 school. So all of your students will have more access to OneDrive and Office 365. But for Google Drive, here's your services here. I can click on it to register it. I can authorize Google Drive access. Okay. All right, Canvas, I'll let you access my stuff. So now that's there, right? Google Drive is right here. Also, I'm just checking here, getting notifications. So also what you can do in your settings area here, if you want to associate LinkedIn or any other thing, you can do it right here as well. So, you know, here are all the integrations that I've approved. But anyway, so in here also, you can actually go through and if you need to do another forwarding email address, you can. If you want Canvas to text you, which, hey, I'm not saying to do that or anything like that. Canvas can, you know, push out messages to you via cell phone. That's up to you if you choose to do it. But so you have Google associated here now, right? So the best thing, if you are working in here, I've never really seen it as much for an instructor, more so as students submitting papers for any kind of assignment. Let me see if it'll let me do it here. Let me just jump here. I'm going to jump back into my course. So if I want to go to an assignment real quick. Actually, no. Let me go student view. And then modules, see if it'll, I'm going to see if this will let me do it. So if I go into week 2 reaction paper, I want to click on submit assignment. Huh, interesting. Oh, because I'm a student. I'm not. So in here, you would see a tab for Office 365, and then you would also see one for Google Docs. Integrating Google, I mean, I'm not sure what you're looking to do, I guess, from Google Classroom. I don't know. That's something I have to check with.
I would suggest using Office 365. It has most of the same functionality as the Google
Agreed.
features, and every instructor and student has access to it through Middlesex County.
Correct. And we actually we have 2 options here for Office 365 here, where you can see kind of if I have OneDrive here, if I need to pull anything up, and then also for Class Notebook. So if you're using OneNote, you can actually use this and associate it with your class. OneNote has come a long way. I've blown away. I was in there the other day looking at the app. You can actually kind of push things out into here into Canvas from OneNote. It's pretty crazy. That's like a separate session in itself. But here, like say for Office 365, it's going to let me do it. Yeah, so I can kind of see everything that I have kind of going on here, as well as your students. So yes, so yeah, it just lets me click on different things. So, so I mean, that's kind of OneDrive. You know, that, like I said, that's a separate kind of conversation. If you want to do surveys, etc., you can embed Google Forms into Canvas. There is an embeddable code. Also, there is Microsoft Forms as well. You can use both. So if you're looking to do any kind of survey, oh geez, you can embed it. You know, I'm not going to kind of veer off path here, but you can embed a form, Google form. So I guess here, I'll show you real quick.
You can always contact us and put in
I think that's the best bet.
Information, and we can schedule a time with you or email you the more detailed information so that you can get the more personalized attention that you need with your specific needs.
Okay, if you were doing surveys, you can also do recording progress and everything. You can actually do a quiz if you wanted to. I mean, you can do a survey as a quiz. Quizzes, you know, I'm kind of going a little bit overboard here, but you know, you can do the details here. Quiz type, you can do an ungraded survey. You can keep submissions anonymous, and then go from there. And then in here, you can ask your questions. You know, what is the muddiest point? I can't type tonight, right? And then, you know, I want this to be a essay question, right? And so then I can go ahead and click on save, or actually I want to click on update question, save. So students can come in, you know, they come in what's the muddiest point, they can type up whatever they want, and it's anonymous, or if you want it not anonymous, you can do it. But yeah, I mean, you can, that is a separate visit into us, you can embed a survey or a Google form into Canvas page. No problem. And then also, I know a lot of you have publisher content, right? Like say McGraw-Hill, Cengage. So I know we do allow. Just let me give you a little bit of a backstory. So I know some Revel reps have kind of come and talked to some instructors from Pearson. Unfortunately, we're kind of constrained by our bookstore. Our bookstore is a Barnes & Noble bookstore. They have right of first sale. It's the first time I've ever heard this anywhere I've ever been. So what happens with that is most of the publishing companies, with their kind of integrations, they have kind of a link out to where students can purchase textbooks and stuff, which is not Barnes & Noble. So that's kind of the right of first sale thing. So that's why you know, some of the publishers have stripped it, the e-commerce site, from their integration where we do allow it in here. Unfortunately, Pearson and like Revel, they do not do that. McGraw-Hill, I know, is good. Cengage is good. I think there's something else as well. But say maybe I wanted to do an integration, I guess McGraw-Hill Connect could be an example, right? If I go over here into the settings area, and the reason why I'm going into settings is because we have it already integrated. So if you go into navigation, I go over here. So here is McGraw-Hill Connect, right? If I click and drag it up here, okay, everything's good there, and I click save. Here's McGraw-Hill Connect now. So if I click in there, it's going to ask me to log in. So I don't have anything kind of synced up here. I do have it for my CSC 105 course. So that's how, you know, we do the integrations here. Collaborations, if you're doing, real quick, if you're doing any kind of collaborations here, you can collaborate using a Google Doc, or you can do Office 365. What happens is it creates a document in your OneDrive, and you can actually assign students to a project, and you can kind of actually see, you know, maybe they're doing a think, pair, share, or something like that. You can actually see the work that they're doing. So if you have more than one person, you can add them into a specific group. And then conferences is if you want to do a synchronous session, it's through big blue button. You can actually say there's a snow day, and you know, you don't want to have to make up the work. You want to get the work done that day. You can select conferences, and you can actually do a session, live synchronous session, kind of like this, that we can kind of meet and talk and all that fun stuff. So I'm sorry, Christine. Yes, it is video. It is, you can actually put PowerPoint in there. There's a whiteboard in there as well. And you can record it, and it'll stay up there for 2 weeks, if I'm correct, archived. Everyone in the class can join. So I do conference here, type big blue button. You know, you can do duration, you can set it so for whatever the date is, and then, you know, you can invite all of your course members, class members, and then they click on it, and then everyone gets into it. Christine, you said there were some questions possibly?
Okay, we can go back and check. You've answered most of them. I was just going to go over anything. We're over time now, so
Okay, sorry.
everyone's questions seem to be answered.
Okay. A teacher can change a grade after it is posted. Yes. Sorry. I'm just kind of going through everything here.
Yep,
Yes. So,
yep.
so yeah. I mean, if there's any other questions or anything like that, feel
I've
free to type it.
posted our email address and phone number. You can call us or email us anytime. We'll get back to you and give you as much information as we need to get you started doing whatever it is you need.
Absolutely. So, does anyone have any questions?
One person did ask what technologies are available in the classroom. Some classrooms have computers and some do not, so it depends on which classroom you are in.
Mhm.
The computers, I believe, are all Windows-based
Yes.
PCs. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yes, there are like a few Mac labs, but it's pretty much all PC based. Yes. If there is any technology you do need, I think you have to do like submit a ticket to the help desk in that regard. If you want students to send me video, I mean, what you can do, so are you kind of referring to like Flipgrid or something like that, or? So a couple different things you can do for videos. So maybe in the discussions area here, maybe if I wanted to do a new discussion, just as an example. Oh, sign language clips. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. ASL course. So you can do, so say maybe if I do like ASL clips. I know, so just before I type this in, I don't know, April Johnson, she works in admissions. She uses Flipgrid, and I know Flipgrid does allow video. You can do it in here discussions as well. Here,
Mike, there's an option to do videos
yep,
directly in Canvas.
you know that. Yeah, let's see. So if I click on save, right, and so now here, if I want to click on reply, am I missing it? Isn't it
Yep.
around here?
Yep. No, I think that was it. Yeah.
General.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's
Right
the other.
there. I know it's just, I know exactly what you're thinking, and there is something somewhere
It's
here.
right. It's the one. It's next to the V. There we go.
Ah, yes, allow. So yeah, so I can record, I can start recording here if I want to, or if I need to upload media, say from my cell phone, you can do it as well. The other thing too, I know the Canvas app, right? So Canvas, there is a teacher app. It's glorious, I will say that. There are some things I've done, a couple things. My son played baseball. At one point, I was replying to discussion forum threads while I was waiting for him to get done with practice through my cell phone. So I was just replying. And even say if a student submits a paper, if you have an iPad and Apple Pencil with it, you can actually do markup on the paper, and students can actually see the markup. If you have a newer iPad and Apple Pencil, you can do that with the teacher app.
So I think that's pretty much it. There are some specific questions that I've asked them to contact us about because I think we're running out of time now.
Yes, and everyone's probably like, I gotta get out. So I'm curious as to see, my dog was kind of going crazy, and I'm like, I can't see over where the living room, so I'm just kind of scared what I'm going to walk into when I'm done. So, but no, I appreciate everyone coming out tonight. I know how, I don't know how this worked out. I know we're throwing a lot of information out to all of you, but I appreciate everyone's patience. We are here to help you no matter what. Don't, no questions too small. We have a good team. Christine and I. So any question that you may have, we'll do whatever we can to answer your question, as well as, make your life a lot easier. Our goal is to make you guys look like rock stars. So
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
yep. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. And let me see if I can shut this down here. Zoom. Let's see if I can do more. So if I can end meeting. Is it ending meeting? End meeting.
Not quite yet.